Hi everyone and welcome to Fiit. I'm Lottie and today we're going to do a 25-minute Pilates workout and we're going to focus on the abdominals and the glutes. So two areas that lots of people obviously like to focus on and that you're going to be focusing on during your other workouts as well. But this is going to be kind of our Pilates approach to work in those areas. So rather than just thinking of like those six-pack abs, we're going to be working the deepest layer of your abdominals, the transverse abdominals, and also just hitting those glutes from lots of different angles as well. So we've got 5 exercises just to get you warmed up and feeling nice and aligned and centered. So starting laying on your mat, so coming down onto your back, feet hip width apart and parallel, and then we're just going to do some pelvic tilt, so just a grid exercise to start to just become aware of where that pelvis is and getting a little stretch into your lower back. So you just basically rock the pelvis forwards and back, so you might feel a little bit stiff in some areas. You can imagine that there's a compass sort of north where your belly button is and south where your pubic bone is, and you can just rock between those 2 points. So then we're going to find the neutral position of the pelvis, so it's somewhere in between those 2 points, and we're going to fire up those glutes, just get them activated with some shoulder bridge. So lifting your hips up and then lowering the hips down. So it's one quick movement, nice and dynamic, just bridging the hips up as you breathe out, breathing in as they come down. So this is a good one just to check that both sides are working at the same time, not one hip coming up higher than the other. And start to initiate the center, so drawing the belly button towards the spine. Exhale to lift, and you really stand into the feet, squeezing where your sit bones are, and then lowering down. So stand into the feet, lift the hips up as you exhale, and inhale to lower. So the knees reach forwards. Let's do one more, because we're going to do another set of these, but in a glute stretch position. So you bring one leg over, you might have seen that before, but now we're going to do a bridge like that. So you get a little bit of a stretch into the hip, but we're targeting one glute now and trying to keep the hips nice and level. So we'll do about 30 seconds on each side. So the ankle crossed over the thigh and lifting up and down. So just working on that left back of the leg and glutes. And then let's change sides. So try not to creep that foot into the center. Keep it in line with the sit bone, opening up the knee, and then bridging up and down. So nice and level on both hips and down. And then uncross. So now we're going to go into the Pilates 100. So this is great for just warming up the whole body using your breath. So we're going to lift up the legs, one leg and the other leg. Bring the feet together, open the knees, curl up, lift the arms up, and then you're going to beat the arms as you inhale for 5 and exhale for 5. So you can keep your feet down. Just got the tips of the shoulders curling up, just building up that energy. So you breathe, keep going, you breathe in for 5 and breathe out for 5. So you can have the legs in this double knee folded position, or you can have the feet down, or maybe stretch the legs away if you're feeling nice and warm, nice and strong, or just keep the knees bent in for now. So think of those arms coming from the back of your body, nice energized pulse. And every time you exhale, just really drawing that center in, those deep abdominal muscles. So we've got 2 more, breathing in for 5, breathing out for 5. Trying to increase that curl up. And then just still the arms and hug the knees in. So just take a little moment to breathe. We're going to go into a little circuit So we're going to do 6 exercises and then we're going to repeat those again. Okay, so just take a moment here just to realign, just keep releasing into that back. And they're all going to be focusing on the abdominals and focusing on the glutes as well. So we're actually going to go back to that bridge for the first exercise, but we're going to do some leg raises in that bridge. So I'll just show you the position. You're going to come up, leveling the thighs away, leveling up the hips, and then keeping the hips up high. What you want is the pubic bone to be a little bit higher than the belly button. You want to squeeze the sit bones, and then you just lift one leg up, and then you place it down. So the next time we do these 6 exercises, we're going to make them a little bit harder. But for now, this is just challenging enough. So we keep the hips nice and level, lift one leg, bend, place it down. So take your time, working that whole back line of the body. Melting the shoulders wide. We'll do one more on each leg, trying to keep those hips up. Last one on the left. And then you're coming down just slowly into the mat. So the next exercise is going to be more abdominal focused. So we're going to do our double leg stretch. So finding that neutral pelvis, lifting one leg up, the other leg up. And then we're going to go into Pilates stance or classical position with your legs. So heels together, knees apart. Hold onto the backs of the thighs and just see if you can curl yourself up a little bit more. Now, from here, the arms and legs are going to reach out away from each other. So we're going to stretch as you breathe in, breathe out, circle the arms back around towards the legs. And again, you inhale, arms and legs reach out. Exhale, circle back around. So let's do 4 more. So you don't have to take those legs too low. Make sure that circle is nice and controlled. Okay? Trying to keep that flat tummy feeling throughout. And last one. And relax down. So maybe just release the neck, turn the head left to right during this little rest. And then we're just going to rock forwards and come back onto the elbows. So we're going to do kind of like a little teaser, but we're going to scissor the legs. So it's a very challenging exercise. For the first time, we're going to keep the knees bent. The second time we do it, we're going to stretch the legs out. So what you want to make sure is you're not sinking into those shoulders. You're pushing the mat away, and then you're going to tap one leg and then the other leg. So we're working those lower deep transverse abdominals here. Also working the posture, but try and think of the back of the legs as well. Because when we come to do it with straight legs, that's going to be really important, that we're not gripping into the hips and the thighs. So trying to keep drawing in, opening up, pushing the mat away as you scissor through those legs. So one leg comes in towards you as the other leg moves away from you. And then relax. Now you're going to push yourself up, and we're going to do 2 exercises combined and then do the other side. So we're going to start off with a tabletop leg and then come into side kneeling leg raises. So quite a challenging exercise. So just take your time with this. If you need to kind of make sure you're doing the correct alignment. So we're on our hands and knees. We're going to start just by going into our tabletop, up and down with the leg. So the back leg, try and keep both hips level, working into the glutes. And one more. Now from there, you're going to turn to the side and come into leg raises here, up and down. So you're in a nice straight line, reaching out through that leg. working, hitting a different angle through the hip. Still working into the abdominals, into the core. And try not to let that elbow lock out. So reaching out through, keep pushing the hips forwards. Last one, it's a really hard one. Okay, so let's go on to the other side. So I'll show you from this side. So we're coming around, I'll show you from here. So the other leg coming in and out. And then it's gonna go down and up. So if you see, I'm not kicking the leg really high up behind me because I want to keep that stability through the trunk, through the spine. And that way you can really feel that work into the glutes, rather than just kind of kicking it up and it all going into your lower back. So that's just where those Pilates principles are really key. So then you'll just transition onto your second side. So I'll show you from here. So transitioning onto the second side, hips press forwards, and then going into those leg raises. Really hard one. Pushing the hips forward. So if you don't want to do the leg raises, if you find it really hard, then you can just do the whole minute with that tabletop leg raises. Okay, so now we're going to finish off this little circuit of exercises with our reverse plank, which is my favorite, but nobody likes this because it's quite a bit on the shoulders. It's quite a big shoulder stretch. And it's just a movement that we don't tend to do a lot, which is why it's quite challenging. So the hands go back behind your hips, fingers are facing down towards your feet, and you're gonna lift your hips up. So we've got to use the glutes, we've got to use the hamstrings, the abdominals. As you raise the hips up, reach out through the feet, and then come down. And we'll add those leg raises the second time we do it, but I just want you to really focus on this movement first of all. So you reach the hips up, the toes reach down, and then you're coming down. So before you even think about lifting, you're going to work the glutes, work the center, reach the legs away, and then come down with, and it's all about that coming down with control. Last one. I know that's really tough. Okay, so just have a little break. We're going to go back and do those 6 exercises again. And we're going to add some more little challenges on if you want to as well. Okay, so laying onto the back. Starting off with those shoulder bridge leg raises. So we're here, and then we're going to lift one leg up. This time we're going to do little pulses up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and change legs. So the glutes are squeezing. Try not to drop down through the hips. Keep both hips up. Little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then coming all the way down. Okay, so now we've got that double leg stretch. Now, doing that same exercise again, or we'll make it a little bit harder. So drawing the legs in. Nice deep breaths. Okay, so we want to lift the legs up, find that double knee fold position, heels together, knees about in line with the shoulders. Hands behind the backs of the thighs, look down, nod the chin, finding that curl up. So remember, we've got that inhale, arms and legs away, exhale to circle, okay? Or you're going to inhale, reach the arms and legs away, point and flex the feet, and then circle. So you're just staying out there a little bit longer, point and flex the feet, and then do the circle. So we challenge that stamina. You reach out, flex, point, and come in. Okay, out, flex, point, and come in. So you feel those abdominals lifting up underneath the rib cage. Working the backs of the legs even here. So you can even think about those glutes working as those legs stretch away. Okay, resting down again, just release any tension in the neck. If you are building up that tension in the neck, then reset, come back up again, or you can hold behind the head as well. So just making those modifications when you need them. So we're going to come up, come back onto the elbows for the elbow teaser and the leg scissors. So we're lifting the feet up, so remember, stay in here, or the legs are going to stretch, and then you're going to do little scissors with the legs. Now, I like to turn out. The reason is I can really then feel the hamstrings, the glutes firing up a little bit more, the deep abdominals as you scissor those legs. And you might not be able to do that many, and then you can just have a rest and then come back into it. So lifting the legs up, and then again. So try and work the back of the legs rather than the thighs here and the hips. So to do that, you've got to really work into those abdominals and squeeze the glutes. Okay, so coming around, now we've got the tabletop with that side lying leg raises, and we're just going to keep this one the same because it is hard enough. So coming onto the hands and knees, finding that neutral, that lift through the abdominals. The leg reaches back, and this is a really good one just to slow it down and really focus on the stability. The leg right behind you, don't let it drift out to the side. And really try not to go into the back. So then we transition onto the side. And then we reach the leg up and down. So the whole body working here. Pushing the hips forwards. Make that leg as long and as lengthened as you can. And we're nearly there. And then we're going to do a little standing sequence at the end just to put this all into practice. Okay, so transitioning onto the other side. So lining up into that 4-point kneeling position again. Walk the knees back, make sure they're right underneath the shoulders. Leg extends behind you, and then you tap and lift. Both hips pointing down. Not too much weight through those arms. Keep pushing away from the mat. So then you'll just transition onto the other side. And into those leg raises. Up and down and reaching up. You can either look up, you can look forwards, or you can look down, just keeping that neck in line. And then we're going to finish with that reverse plank with the leg raises if we can for this circuit. Okay, so resting back. So we've got that reverse plank again. So legs are out nice and straight, lengthening those legs away. Hands come back behind you, about a hand space away. So what you'll do is you'll raise up, and then we're going to lift the legs one at a time. So you've got to really use your tummy, your glutes, your hamstrings, and lift. So we're working the back line of the legs. So you need one on each side, reset. Or we're going to try and do up there and stay and do 2 on each side. So we're going to come up. So we're going to do 1, 2. In the other leg. 1, 2. And come down. Okay, let's try that one more time. So remember, if that's a little bit too much, just practice the coming up and down. So lots of tummy. 1, 2, pushing the mat away. 1. Got to really work those abdominals and the glutes on the standing leg. That's very hard. And then coming all the way down. Good. Okay, so just give yourself a little stretch out. So anything that needs to be wiggled out after all of that. We're going to come up to standing, and we're going to just do a little flow just to bring all that work on the abdominals and the glutes up to standing. And this is going to really work the glutes as well. So we're going to come down, rolling down through the mat, and then walking forwards into a plank position. Now from here, you're going to lift one leg up and then step it forwards. And then you're going to see if you can stand up from here. So this is where we've got to really use that core and the glutes. Standing up. Okay, so it can look really simple, but it's actually quite a challenging one. So we're going to come back to the end of the mat. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So we're rolling down. We're walking out. So this is where we're going to find those abdominals again and the glutes as well. Lift the other leg up, step it forwards. So a nice stretch for those hips. We find the balance, you look in front and you stand up. Okay, let's try that again. One more on each side. So standing tall and rolling down. Walking out into that plank. So raising one leg up without the hips moving, stepping it through, and then standing up. Okay, so quite a lot of work in those glutes to come up to standing. Last one on this side. Through that center line, walking out, lift, step, and then stand. A little bit wobbly on that last one. Okay, so now we're just going to do a standing tabletop. So that one when we were on our hands and knees, lifting the back leg up and down, we're going to do that in standing. So we're going to soften the legs. We're going to take one leg back behind you, and we're going to lift and lower the leg. 10 on each side. So this is working both legs. The standing leg is working quite a lot as well. Keep the core engaged. And I just like to have my hands in front of me. It's kind of like a focus. Spreading the opposite foot down, lifting up through the waist. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then the other leg. So you're keeping the standing leg softly bent, and then the other leg reaches back and raising up and down. Lower abdominals, squeezing your sit bones, challenging that balance, and really actively working those glutes here. So 5 more. 4, 3. Again, it's not about how high that back leg goes. Last one, reaching out and then coming in. Okay, so then we're going to finish facing forwards. Feet a little bit closer together than hip width. We're going to just finish by walking out through the feet, but I want you to have this sense of energy into the glutes, into the tummy. So all of that work we just did, we're going to rise up, and then we're going to bring one heel down and one heel up. So you just kind of walk through the ankles, but you keep this feeling of going up, working the glutes, you squeeze, and you work through the lower abdominal so you don't push the hips out side to side. And you find that little balance. So I like to bring all of that work up to standing that we did. Keeping that focus, that balance. Rise and lower. And just slowing everything down now, connecting to the breath. Keep that energy going up. And keep those glutes active. They like to switch off. One more on each leg. And then you are all done. Well done. So that was your Pilates workout, just focusing on those abdominals and the glutes. I hope you enjoyed it and you're feeling nice and strong and centered. And remember to try and take those principles into your other workouts as well, and also into your daily activities. So when you're walking up the stairs, firing up those glutes. So I'll see you soon. Goodbye.